Uncharted: The Lost Legacy is a game that I generally feel doesn't get talked about enough. And whenever it does come up in conversations, reviews, or comment sections, there's one criticism that almost always takes center stage: it's too short. But honestly, I think that complaint completely misses the point. Lost Legacy was never meant to be a massive, stretched out adventure filled with side content just for the sake of padding its runtime. It wasn't trying to be the biggest Uncharted game, it was trying to be the most focused one. And there's a huge difference between the two. In an era where games feel often bloated, filled with repetitive objectives and unnecessary filler, Lost Legacy feels refreshing. It knows exactly how long it needs to be, and it never overstates its welcome. The pacing is tight, deliberate, confident, and something that's surprisingly rare. The best way I can describe it is this: Lost Legacy feels like a really well made action movie. One that understands its runtime, respects your time, and focuses entirely on delivering memorable moments instead of dragging things out. Every chapter feels intentional, and every sequence feels like it belongs. One of the strongest aspects of Lost Legacy is how well Chloe and Nadine are written, not just individually but together. When the game begins, there's no instant chemistry between them. There's hesitation, emotional distance, and very clear trust issues. These are two characters who are capable on their own, but unsure if they can rely on each other. And what makes this dynamic so effective is that the game doesn't rush past it. Their relationship develops slowly through shared danger, failed plans, awkward conversations, and moments where things don't go as expected. You see them learning how to work together rather than being told that they do. Chloe's sarcasm and humor contrast beautifully with Nadine's disciplined, guarded, and no nonsense personality. Early on, those differences created friction, but over time, that friction turns into understanding and eventually mutual respect. By the end of the game, their bond feels completely earned, not forced, not rushed, just natural. And that ground character development is one of the biggest reasons Lost Legacy works so well. Gameplay wise, Lost Legacy delivers some of the most enjoyable combat in the Uncharted series. And a big reason for that is the freedom it gives the player. Almost every combat encounter allows multiple approaches. You can stay hidden, swing around the environment, reposition yourself, use stealth takedowns, or abandon subtlety altogether and go in guns blazing. The game never locks you into one correct way to play. The level design actively supports creativity. Verticality, cover placement, and traversal options makes encounters feel dynamic instead of scripted. Even when facing similar enemy types, the way you approach each situation can be completely different. Because of that, combat rarely feels repetitive. It stays engaging throughout the game, rewarding awareness, experimentation, and quick thinking, exactly what Uncharted combat should feel like. Puzzles in Lost Legacy are another area where restraint works in the game's favor. They are not overly complex or frustrating, and that's actually a strength. Instead of interrupting the flow of the game, the puzzles feel like natural extensions of the environment. They're satisfying to solve, visually interesting, and never exist just to slow you down. The semi open exploration sections deserve special mention too. These areas give you room to breathe, to explore, discover optional conversations, uncover hidden details, and appreciate the setting. But the game never overwhelms you with endless objectives or checklist style content. There's a really good balance here. You get freedom without clutter, exploration without padding, and discovery without distraction. Everything feels purposeful and nothing feels like it's wasting your time. Narratively, Lost Legacy feels like a well paced action film that knows exactly when to escalate and when to slow things down. The story moves confidently, building tension without dragging or relying on unnecessary twists. It keeps its focus on the characters, their motivations, and the stakes of the journey. Asaf, the main antagonist, is handled in a grounded and believable way. He's not portrayed as some unstoppable force or exaggerated supervillain. Instead, he feels dangerous, intelligent, and most importantly, beatable. That balance makes the conflict feels more realistic. Chloe and Nadine feel capable but not invincible, Every confrontation carries weight, and the stakes feels earned rather than artificially inflated. In the end, Uncharted The Lost Legacy succeeds because it knows exactly what it wants to be. It doesn't chase scale for the sake of it. It doesn't rely on filler. Instead, it delivers a focused cinematic adventure built on strong characters, satisfying gameplay, and confident storytelling. There's no wasted time here, just meaningful moments, polished action, and a journey that respects the player from start to finish. And that's precisely why, even today, Lost Legacy is absolutely worth playing. Not because it's long, but because it's memorable.
Subscribe to BB Zeke Gaming.